Some wonderful scenes of the town of Champéry here in the Swiss Alps. We're looking at the Palladium, the ice rink here, Sports Center. We're here with the Champéry Masters, and we're into the final after Thursday beginning. We're down to the last two, 24 teams down to two. Team Drummond, Michael Goodfellow, Greg Drummond, Ross Patterson throwing fourth rocks. Team Edin, Christopher Sundgren, Rasmus Ronald, Oscar Eriksson, and of course Nicholas Edin at skip. Next, we started with 24 teams. Saturday night we got down to the quarterfinals. Those are the quarterfinals. Edin beat Staley and Marburgs to get to the final, while Drummond defeated Mowat and then Van Dorp. And here we see the lineup. Greg Drummond on your left, Ross Patterson, Cannon, and Goodfellow. And here we got Oscar Eriksson, Edin from left to right, Verano and Sundgren. There we see the trophy. And we're underway with the first rock here in this final, and my name is Armin Harder, so we're going to carry you through this game. And with me I've got Tom Brewster. I'm very happy to have Tom Brewster to do the final with us. Tom finally managed to get in his seat. His son looks a little injured. Hello, Tom.
Hi. How are you doing?
Thanks for joining us to do this, and be looking forward to your insight. You dropped out last night.
Yeah, we had a
quarterfinals.
close one last night, and we were a wee bit disappointed, but we've had a good weekend. So.
And you've got some ties to this team, some former teammates in there. You won some silver world championship medals with.
Yeah, and I've played the last 4 seasons with Ross as well. So they're all good friends.
You're going to be able to give us a lot of insight there and translate some of the things going on the ice.
I'll try.
So this kind of unique seeing Drummond in the house as a skip.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously been a third for many years and throwing third rocks, and he continues to throw third rocks here in this team. And Patterson, who's a front end player, throwing the fourth rocks. Any insight there?
You know, I think strategically, I think Greg wanted to skip. You know, it's just natural progression, I suppose. Once Dave retired and Dave Murdoch, and you know, Ross is getting to a stage in his career. I think he wanted to play further up the rink, and the opportunity arose, and the two of them are obviously working well. They're in the final, so
absolutely, they've had a pretty good. It's a little slow start to the season, but they seem to be getting their wheels under them.
Yeah, I suppose that's natural. They were getting used to their positions, and you know, it's a big step up. Ross has played second for the last few years, and stepping up to throw last rocks in the team is pretty difficult, you know. So I suppose it would take them a wee while to get used to it.
Well, he made a hell of a shot last night in the quarterfinals. Had to drop it on the button with his last rock to beat Mowat.
Yeah, Ross has always been a very good touch player, so it probably suits him pretty well playing the last rocks, you know. He's a solid sweeper as well, so it's kind of getting the best of everything for him.
You got strong boys out there on that team, that's for sure. They strong sweepers. Goodfellow's not a little guy either, is he?
No, he's not. He's not.
So we're pretty open end here already. Just one rock in play. And it'll be an interesting matchup here. Edin dropped his first game against you, I believe.
Yes, we had a really good game against them. We went out with a game plan, I think nice at the start of the weekend, just with a wee bit of frost. The rocks were a bit sharper, and we I think we coped with the conditions a wee bit better, possibly, and we kind of stuck to our game plan, and we got a really good a good victory against them. So
you went 5-0 in the round robin, which you must be pretty pleased with your team's performance. That you've got 2 young guys in your team, with Scott Andrews squeezed in between them.
Yeah, and no, we've progressed every weekend that we've played this season. We keep improving, which is a really good sign, and quite pleasing. So
it's good to see.
Yeah, it's good signs. So we're happy.
Well, this looks like it's heading for a blank end. We had 24 teams at the beginning, 8 qualifiers. It's 45,000 Swiss francs total prize money, and the winner from this game will take home 14,000 Swiss francs. What's that? Do you know what that is quickly in pounds?
I don't, but it's a lot.
We'll pay a couple of tournaments expenses. 9,000 to the loser. So it's really nice here. Champéry did a great job again.
Yeah, it's always nice to come to Champéry. It's a fantastic event, and the draw times are good, and it's a good event to come and play, and the town itself's lovely. So
interesting aspect this week. 7 of the 8 teams that are going to the Olympic qualifying event were here, honing they're getting their last.
It's funny because we were actually sandwiched in between 2 games, with teams on both sides that were actually playing each other that are going to the trials, the pre-trials, and you could just see there was a little bit more intensity in the game. And it was quite interesting watching, just being in the sheet in between. I think Kouster was playing Sneetel on one, and Rasmus was playing Van Dorp on the other lane, and
all 4 of those
you could just see there was a bit more to the game.
A little more in it.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to it. So
well, not only the teams, the abilities to go possibly get one of those last 2 spots to go to the Olympics. They're also, a lot of funding depends on this Olympic stuff, and it's actually a sad thing that you only get funding if you're going to the Olympics, but and there's only so few teams go to the Olympics. You yourself know how tough it is to get there.
It's very tough, and obviously I don't want to say the smaller nations, but the ones that have got a smaller number of curlers and not so many strong teams, the likes of Finland, say, it's even more important for them that they get to Olympics, and it helps drive the sport, I suppose, and brings money into the sport.
Nice.
The only team that was missing from those Olympic trials is China, who I believe probably one of the favorites in that competition.
Yeah,
what's your take on that?
I would believe so. Yeah, I think they're a really strong team, and the skip's
that'd be the team to beat.
Fantastic player.
And the second place is for the second spot is pretty wide open, I think.
Yeah, depends on the ice. Depends who turns up that week. Yeah. Who gets hot.
That will make it interesting. Edin here with his first rock. Edin's got the hammer.
Yep.
I think the Chinese are out in Gatineau at the moment, and I think they qualified through A or.
Yep, they are in Gatineau. So we can look up and take a look and see how they're performing out there. And De Cruz is over there too, and Edin's the only qualified Olympic team that's playing here, the #1 seed at this event. Interesting semi-final with Van Dorp and Marburg involved, of course.
Line's good.
Not the teams you would normally expect to go that far, but they played well.
I think Marburgs have been improving the whole time and over the last couple of seasons. And of course he was here last week for the mixed, so that probably stands him in good stead for the rest of this week, used to the conditions and the stones. So.
And of course Grant Hardy was here all week too, playing on Mowatt's team. He won the final of the World Mixed Championships, which took place on this ice just about a week ago. And we're down the last rock here in the first. And Edin will be looking to blank this. Nothing in play except that one red rock. He'll be looking to keep the hammer. So tactically, well, we'll get onto that next end. We'll just watch this finish of this rock, and Edin clears that rock. So no score here in the first end at the Champéry Masters. We're in the final World Curling Tour action here in Switzerland, and we'll begin with the second end shortly.
Line's good.
I always say Michael Goodfellow starting the second end.
There you go.
Edin still has a hammer. Champéry Masters
really
World
close.
Curling Tour
Still good, go.
event. So you've had lots of experience against Edin. Obviously the number one, now the number 2 ranked team in the world since Gushu reclaimed his number 1 spot. They've been one of the top teams in the world for a couple of years now. How would you approach him tactically? Is there anything special you need to do? Besides make more shots, which
Yeah, make more shots, what I just mentioned, yeah. You know he's going to be aggressive, so the need to try and get a lot of stones in play is you don't need to do that, if you know what I mean. You're going to get the chance, so we see a mistake there, and unfortunately that's probably going to lead to another blank end, I would say. But you know, it's he has a style and a way of playing which is actually he has refined over the years, I think, and he used to play in certain ends, or he used to be aggressive and just play every end. You see he's slightly altered his game plan now a little bit. He plays more the even ends at times, and he's a wee bit more patient than he used to be, I think. I think that's maybe his old age, but
well, they're a very strong run-back team, so you put short guards up, they run it back, and if you leave the 2 long guards, they come around pretty easily. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty hard to set anything up against them, especially if he gets a lead.
Yeah, you don't. That's. I think that's one of the keys, is not allowing them to get a jump of 2 shots ahead of you. You know, and we were fortunate in the first game. We got the hammer, and I think that allowed us to dictate the play a little bit.
We saw a mistake there from Drummond's team. They took out that yellow shot, but they left that corner guard up there.
Yeah, that's. They'll be happy going deep here. And
so like you mentioned, Edin, number 2 ranked team on the World Tour right now, and Greg Drummond, number 24. And that's out of about 400 teams currently ranked. By the end of the season, that should be around 750 or 800 teams. It's so hard to get into the top 20, I would think.
It takes a few seasons to build that up, and of course in Scotland, apart from the Olympic team of Kyle Smith, all the teams change, so all the players carry points with them, and that affects your ranking, you know. So
you bringing in a couple of young guys who
didn't
basically had no points.
Exactly, so that drops us quite down. Yeah. So then, you know, you have to build that up again, and it takes time. You just don't do it in a season. You know, a couple of good results here or there really helps, but you know, it can be quite difficult with a new team just to hit the ground running and qualify in every spiel. You know,
I believe last year you were just out of the top 10.
Yeah, we were 14, 15,
Yeah,
16.
you're
We
dropped down to
travelled
48 now with the new
so
guys.
you just, there you go. It's
You might creep up this weekend, of course.
yeah, this will help.
That's very close in those areas, so a couple of points might, get you right up 4 or 5 spots on the ranking. So Edin takes out that. Gets nice separation on those 2 rocks. Laying 2 at the moment.
Yep.
Control!
So I saw some emotion out of Drummond in the semi-final. Some things I hadn't seen before. Is he an emotional player?
Oh yeah.
Okay. He usually hide it very well. He didn't. Show a little more exposure to this last game.
Yeah. Greg's always had a wee bit of passion about him.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, he ended up right after this little outburst there. He made a 4 and put that game away. So whatever it was, it worked for him.
Yeah, and teams react in different ways, and some teams that it can affect and go the wrong way, and other teams it can G them up and get going. So
I don't think you're going to phase Patterson and Goodfellow much, are you?
No.
No. Good shot there. Maintain the good separation and sitting 1 and 2. It's fairly straightforward, and then you're playing this. It's just a matter of making a mistake or not, eh?
Yeah.
Tactically, there's not much you can do.
Nicholas needs to just keep rolling a little bit either way, just to make sure there's no double on, really, because obviously the more I hit them, the higher up they'll have a go at the double at some point, I would think. This curls out there, we got caught out on that last night, that wee bit. That's a good shot.
A nice roll on. Brings those 2 rocks a little closer. Edin will try and roll back the other way to keep the separation back up again. Can't find any head-to-head statistics with Drummond not having skipped at all in the last. Well, I'd probably have to look up Brewster or Murdoch or something like that to get any head-to-head information on these teams.
Yeah, I think I'm 50-50 with close to 60-40 maybe against Nicholas.
Sorry.
So on the event statistics, just for this event, the hammer efficiency for Greg Drummond is only around 36%, which is a little bit low, but his force efficiency is over 60%. So that's makes up for that. That's quite an interesting statistic. Whereas the hammer efficiency with Edin is over 80%, and the force efficiency is almost 70%. So that's been for just this event. That's pretty good statistics there.
Yeah, that's good. He's always strong, so I wouldn't expect those figures to be much different at any event, to be honest with you.
Both have the same record with 6 wins and 1 loss through this event. Oscar Eriksson. He's going for the double. A little bit of a chance here for Greg to push his force efficiency a little higher. So you got any big events going on? You're the manager of the Aberdeen Curling Club. You got you've had some junior worlds in there. You've had
we've got the junior worlds coming in March.
You've got them coming. Okay, that's
yeah. So we're busy in the middle of preparing for that.
Not to mention the Aberdeen World Curling Tour event.
Yeah, which has been a great success the last couple of years, and
good to hear.
A lot of the players are very complimentary, which is great. It's a fantastic facility, and it's so easy at Curl Aberdeen to actually produce the ice as well, because it's just set up so easy. So it's we're very fortunate.
I hope your ice maker didn't hear that.
Well.
Oh,
and this is a small mistake coming here, so
it will
Very nice.
just hang on. Yep. I have to make my trip up to Aberdeen one of these days. I haven't seen that facility yet.
yeah, it's about 12 years old now, purpose built, so it's but it still looks fairly new.
Your World Curling Tour event there is in, give us the dates.
It's March the 16th, 18th, 19th, and about there.
So this will be right after the World Juniors,
It's
or just before?
directly the week after the World Juniors.
Similar to the Worlds here. So okay, so everything
So
will be set
yeah, we're
right
busy,
now. Yeah.
busy period for us. We've got the National Juniors as well, which we've hosted the last 5-6 years in January. So
Did we have a Europeans in there once?
we did in 09, yeah.
Det är bra att ligga liksom halvjämnt på T-line också med vinkel och inte mycket. Ja. Frysen är okej också.
So what's
Behöver toucha off
Nicholas
foten,
trying to do
ja,
here?
vi måste ju få runt den och
Trying to draw down to that in behind the corner guard, I think.
Yeah, he probably wants to go about T line, maybe just in front of T. So.
Känns lite lös. Måste gå. Kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen. Tryck, ni har det.
Some good sweeping coming, didn't it?
Hårt.
Needs a little finish now.
Yeah, they've swept that really well.
Sweeping it, kept it straight. No. Still exposed.
Good enough to make a hack. I think so. Yeah. Just see contact, Ross.
It's got a nice hack though. From hatch.
Well,
I
Greg,
get
Gregor was
more
here
buried
for
than I
this
thought
one.
it.
We took there and he was back 8.
It's
Like,
funny.
back
It's
hack.
it's
Just the one
underbody.
as well.
You'd want more of a finish, but actually, if he could see a little bit
bit
more, then it brings the back red into play. So
Yep.
it's kind of just finished almost
This will be good.
in a good place for Ross.
Well, if he can roll this to the middle, it'll be obviously. It looks like it's going to be a force, anyways, for sure. But important here to remove that yellow rock and not give up the 2. Last rock here for Ross Pedersen.
Line. Hard line. Really gotta go. Hard line. Really gotta go. Really hard line. Whoa.
Doesn't sound good. Looks like he's all over the guard.
Yep.
Open hit here for 2 for Edin. It certainly wasn't looking like that through most of the end. So quickly it can change.
Kolla lite grann om jag jammar ner och vickar inåt liksom, blir den bättre än våran då?
You translating there, Armin?
Just got to watch he doesn't jam on the back. That's what he said.
Tight va? Okay. Ja. Ja. 10.
We just saw Frederick Lindberg in the picture, the coach of the Edin team.
One thing we did this weekend, we hit a lot into out as opposed to coming off. We found the ice was a little bit dished on the first day, and we got, you know, that little bit of inconsistency. This side, particularly on the intern, curled a lot last night.
Last rock here from Edin in this end, trying to make 2 and take the early lead. And it looks like a controlled shot, perfect execution, and with that, Nicholas Edin takes 2-0. And look at there's John Heron, our ice makers. Come on, we were just trashing your ice just a few minutes ago. Are you off?
Ja, det känns som att jag ligger lite
You've
vidare
done a
fast
great
de har
job.
bra sättning.
Thanks for showing up. Have a good trip back to Scotland. John Heron, ice maker at the National Training Centre in Stirling. And we see here 2-0 after 2 ends of play. Champéry Masters. And with that, Christopher Sundgren will start off the end.
Standard start after you take it to top 4. Christopher was doing that. Just slipping a wee bit deep against us, which got them in a little bit of trouble just in the game that we played them. But
there's David Murdoch, now national coach for the British program. Michael Goodfellow, yeah, the Sundgren's really consistent at leading, I guess. I mean, he does. That lead position is so important to get those rocks in the right position.
It's huge. I think in the modern game, it's almost the key position. It dictates the whole play, and you know, and so many leads are making the ticks now as well. It's just a stock shot. It's just like a draw at the forefoot for them, you know, and it allows you to control the game, or you know.
And you'd think it would be easy because it's basically the similar shots all the time, right?
Yeah.
Top
yeah.
four, center guard.
Yeah, as well.
Of course, they usually get the bad rocks, or they get the.
Well, it's funny. The last few years, we've really thrown the bad rocks to the second because they generally hitting a lot more. So it's always good to give the lead a consistent pair or two that are similar. Allows them to get a bit of consistency in their play because they are playing very similar shots the whole time, and you know, it allows them to get a feel for the ice, and which helps when you're trying to read the ice as well, and the sweepers are trying to judge the speeds.
Your shots or skip shots are going to be very similar to the lead shots, right?
Correct, yeah. So
if your lead is struggling, the whole team tends to struggle.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Coming around the guard and just push that back. Don't quite get it out of the house.
They'll be okay with that. It's taking the play away from the centre, and the corner guard's just gone a wee bit wide for them, which is
Rasmus Ronald, the newest member of this team, joined the beginning of last season. Took over for Christian Lindstrom. Fit into the team very quickly. Lindstrom, now skipping his own team, was here this weekend.
Nice. Whoa. Right, whoa. Whoa. Okay. Right, okay.
so Nicholas just trying to roll into the middle here. But he'll be happy if he can just keep nose hitting there, and if he can get a force out of this, he'd be really happy, you know.
Yep.
That's the most important thing, just applying the pressure straight back. Hitting and rolling out here would be... It's not in the game plan.
Ja, en riktigt bra sättning. Det blir för mycket is för den sättningen bara.
Managed just to keep that in play. That corner guard is way out there, isn't it? It's almost too far to be in use.
Yeah, here, Les.
Ball. Line. Hard line. Really hard line.
Gregor Cannon, the youngest member of the team.
De kommer skicka garden, så en bra skott där.
So with that center guard up there, Edin will immediately
Stannar ju upp lite i curl, men det ska inte vara något problem att döma.
into
Tror du här
play.
ute? Ja, det kommer det göra.
Those are the kind of mistakes you can't afford to make against Edin.
The guard's pretty close here on the centre though, so it should be a reasonably simple run back. So Greg's team should still have a chance to make their one.
Weight looks pretty good.
Looking for as much separation as they can away from the guard, but
So 3 Swedish counters.
Like, even if we take off that, there's good.
You can see just over half of that rock.
Oh, yeah, impact for the roll. Yeah. That was good. Yeah, I think so. I threw the out turn the first time. I wrote a beat, it was control, but they got a good read off it.
So today is not curling quite as much as it was yesterday, with only 1 or 2 sheets being in play. It's cooled down the entire building, not to mention outside. It's cooled down quite a bit since the beginning of the week.
It rained a lot last night, didn't it? So.
See a bit of a straight spot here when you do throw it up a bit. No, he got the guard. Pushed him in. Edin now sitting 4.
Linjen är viktigast, även om de skulle komma in i bot så...
He won't want this to be too long.
Marginalen är väl att täcka lite den sidan kanske. Relativt nära, haken nära liksom.
Yeah, it's a kind of standard. I think most of the top teams are aware of the ice conditions and how it changes from round robin play when the building's full and it's a bit warmer and more heat about to.
So you, as an experienced ice maker, you talk about this with your team before the games, or
yeah,
or
we
do you just
always
keep that in your own mind?
No, it depends on what the conditions we're going to. You know, we had a big talk about the conditions here before we started and how we wanted to a wee bit more rotation on the stone on release, and you know, if there's frost about or colder pebble, you know, and the difference between ice that's scraped and for the draw and then ice that's maybe had 2 or 3 games on it, you know, so just to give them an awareness. And
you take that game to game, or you just that's
game
a
to
general
game.
discussion?
No, that would be a general pre-game chat would involve that, but then you could go to other venues. You know, you go to the national championship saying it's great for every draw, so really the ice doesn't really come into it too much.
Right.
It might be more talk about
Trying to double off the top here, and clears that up and leaves it in a pretty good position for his own rock up there. He might need that one later on. We're down to Skips Rocks.
Säkert runt och hämta lite. Jag försöker spela lite fart fram liksom.
Edin's going to try and go around
yeah,
this.
he's going to go round.
Ja. Den är ju sopad rätt långt också, så är min fart, den kommer få lite mera finish tror jag.
Thought he might take that out here.
Well, he's got the force. I'm not sure what Ross would play if they get rid of the redstone. So, you know, he's looking for a steal, I think, by playing this.
The Red Rocks is in a pretty good spot there for Drummond.
Känns som samma som ner hit ungefär.
Well, to be fair, it's their only chance of getting 2.
Yes. Edin with an aggressive move here.
98, okej.
Trying to go around that red center guard.
Fart också! Hårt, linje!
I think it's
Hårt, alla, linje! Linje, järnet! Hårt, hårt! Hårt, hårt, hårt!
that's a good shot.
Fortsätt!
Bra.
Now you got the potential of a straight back raise, and you're
Yeah.
sitting covered, right?
Yeah. It's one of those you don't want to fully bury. You want to show them an inch or 2, you know, and then you know they can't make the total run back.
Right.
So I don't.
Full covered is probably not the best one.
Well, they went hard for line, so I think he
could have left it right there or something. Eh? There we go. So Ross Patterson, straight raise back. He'd like to keep this in line, wouldn't he? That would turn the end around real
first
quick.
and foremost he wants to get rid of that yellow and open it up so that he gives himself a chance to get 1. But if he can ever stick it and play it straight back, it'd be great.
Hard line.
It's looking close. But really good attempt. But looks like he's got something left for his last shot. Huh? Unless Edin gets a hit and roll inside.
I don't think he's got enough. Well, he doesn't want to flirt with that front one, so.
Ja, jo. Jag försöker hålla det liksom lite utsida, men har vi kan vi få
So I'm wondering how much some of the other teams deal with ice, that ice discussion, if they don't have an experienced iceman in the team. Because those conditions do change a little, and I hear very little talk in many of the teams about ice conditions.
Yeah, well, not being in any of the other teams, I'm not
Yeah,
sure
well,
what they
it's the
say.
same
You
thing,
know,
yeah.
it was how I got into ice making actually, is that I wanted
You
to
wanted
learn
to be
more
a better
about it
player,
because I wanted to be a better player, and I only really took it up to do it for a year.
Yeah, well, that was my reasons for becoming an ice maker, except I didn't become a better player, but that was something else. Ended up spending more time making ice and not having enough time to focus on playing. You know what that's like.
Yeah. He didn't like this out the hand, but still doesn't like it.
Wide.
Hårt!
Just manages to get it far enough. Does he get it far enough? Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Yellow sitting 1 for sure. And I guess Edin's hoping he's sitting 2.
It's close.
That top yellow one on the right hand side, and the red one, which one's second shot?
One way to make sure of it.
I know that.
But then
I was trying to avoid that option if I could.
there's a slight angle, which isn't the ideal. What do you think?
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? You have to.
Well, here's the one.
Guess you
way to
could
find
draw
out before
for
you
one.
play. Play this. and
Might as
then
well
this.
hit that and hope for the
And
best.
if it ever over curls,
Yeah.
we have that for one. I think so as well, if I'm being honest. So we just don't want to waste too much time.
I know.
with
I
this.
just don't want to.
We do have a time clock on this game.
Yeah.
Just to
I know. We're not playing
Heads up.
that. We just roll out.
You want to go left first?
You could.
No, you've got to be high side to make it, Ross. That's.
Okay.
He's
that's
worried
the
about
steal.
trying to hit that top
Play
one
this.
and
Yeah.
rolling
Rolling
away.
out.
rolling
The
away.
other option is to play the triple, which is tough, but
We'd prefer to make 2 as opposed to making 1, right?
Yeah. He needs to score, though. That's an important thing here.
Especially against Edin, you don't want to give him the hammer back in a 1-point lead. So going straight for it.
Yeah.
Take out the
Take
shot rock and probably measure. Ross Pedersen. Last rock here in the 3rd end.
Whoa.
Going
Line.
for 1 for sure.
Hard line. Whoa. Line. Line. Hard line.
To work it.
Really hard line. Really hard line.
Who's this
Whoa,
taking
whoa,
off?
whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, he's on there.
Is that curling?
It's just down weight a bit.
Well, they're questioning the stone as well now, so
Well,
it's twice it's over curled on him, but
didn't have a lot of weight on
Vad
it.
fan är färgblind?
Anyways, a steal of 1 for Edin
Alltså,
here in the 3rd.
Oh, weight was okay. Line was okay.
They seem to think the weight was all right.
Yeah, it was more weight than I was expecting. Let's just bend it down.
So after 3 ends of play, the score is 3-0 for Team Edin here in the Champéry Masters final.
so Greg and his team will be looking to try and get a 2 back here, just build easy and hope to force Nicholas in the next end and then another 2, you know, so just keep the game plan not all that much different to what they would have started with, to be honest with you. So
Just a simple 2 here, of course the game.
yeah, make your 2s and force the 1s, you know.
Mr. Sundgren. We'll start out 4th end here with the basic shot that he's been requested probably hundreds and hundreds of times. Top of the 4-foot.
13-7. Han kommer nu ändå.
This is looking a little bit longer maybe. It's gonna go slide behind the tee line.
Ja, det kommer faktiskt upp på slutet också så att.
Oh. Already the first little mistake. What was that? Trying to get some snow in front of it.
Well, no comment.
I don't know if his broom was on the ice. He was just making that movement.
Line's good. Okay, just let it stop then.
So corner guard. I think they want this corner guard a little
Yep.
more in than the last one.
Jag gillar bite 8 där. Ja. Linjen är bra.
92.
Hänger också kvar lite. Kan gärna få kalla förbi den här.
Full 8 minst.
Kommer nu. Linjen är bra nu.
Nicholas is looking for a wee bit more curl
Oskar har den.
than what he's getting here, just to stagger them a wee bit so that he doesn't
14-35.
give them back in behind a guard in effect. So
Fint.
he just wanted that one just off over the centre line like that, which he's got, which is
Okay.
perfect. So
I think that's fine.
Drummond calling for another guard on the other side. Michael could fill it.
Let's get them level. Line's fine. Gregor a little bit, I guess. It's going to be good for line. Still Gregor though.
You want to get these about the same distance apart and the same height, because we know Rano's a pretty good hitter.
That.
Igen. Bra linje.
Rasmus hits well and he hits hard as well, so perfect for Nicholas's game.
Body it up.
They all got the capabilities of the high hard ones, don't they?
Yeah. All the top teams do nowadays. It's almost a stock shot at times now in a lot of the big events.
Hard line. Really hard line. Okay, well. Good.
I rolled in front of that yellow one. Might make that shot a little more difficult. Edin heading for the guard though.
Good team. One. Go there.
So he's going to guard off his own shot here.
Yeah. I would expect Nicholas just to peel the guard, and he'll bank himself to make the double at some point if they manage to get rid of the yellows. So.
Michael.
Wait's good for halfway.
Should get there still, Michael. Hard curl. Hard curl. Good.
He just came over that volley sign. That's the region here. The volleys. That's where the Matterhorn is. Have you ever seen the Matterhorn, Tom? It's close by.
I think a few years ago it did. Yeah.
Right.
But not when I've come to Champéry. Other event.
Wine and cheese region up here. Lots of skiing in the winter. Port du Soleil.
Well, I can vouch for the wine.
Yeah. And we had the big cheese fondue the other night too.
Not quite middle. Yeah.
Or it wasn't the fondue, it was the raclette. So that guard, we'll try to replace that guard. I'm not sure if Nicholas isn't having some issues with his back again. He's been stretching in the last 2 games.
Line's good. Love that, Carl.
No, line's fine.
No, line's good.
Line's fine.
Line's fine. Easy.
Had an operation in the summer.
Yeah, he's had a few operations now.
Yeah.
But I think the last one went pretty well from what he said. But
it's just today I've noticed he's been working it a bit. The Worlds you played in Basel in
he wasn't good.
Final, he
actually
didn't even get to play. He was.
He did play.
Well,
we were the last game he played in the round robin, and he ended up going for an operation during that week. Yeah, he shouldn't have played against us. To be fair, he honestly was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So
you had a really good week there, all the way to the final.
Yeah, and they played well. I think they got the bronze, did they? Without him. We beat them in the.
Wasn't Olsrud, or was it Sweden?
No,
didn't Olsrud? Olsrud wasn't there either, was he? It was.
Like it's actually it should be similar speed to what Ross flew.
I think Norwegians were without Olsrud too. Maybe I'm thinking of another words.
No, that was Cortina.
That was Cortina.
Whatever year that was.
So many of them.
I wasn't there that year, so.
Okay. And you went all the way to the final and faced Canada in that final. Glenn Howard.
Yeah.
Okay, one in here.
I remember that final vividly.
Hard line. Hard line. Never off.
I remember the last shot in the 10-10, but I don't remember all that much else.
I had a beat.
But
well, this guard's offline.
Well, we'll see here, because Nicholas may well just. Nah, they see enough of the red. I don't think it's...
Ja, och vi kan inte runda själv heller, då blir det för lätt att slå ner den där och ligga kanten liksom. Lite känslig för sig. Kan ju dra curl liksom, men... Ja.
Vad sa du?
Ja, jag gillar den. Jag gillar en 10. Fan, jag ska inte ha för mycket is. Så bra sats borde räcka.
Jag funderade på fall. Man kan ju till och med liksom bara välja att klippa.
Oscar Eriksson, a lot of skipping
Skulle mot
experience
förmodan
himself.
dras på man försöka väcka in helium och få den öppen i alla fall.
Lots of good feedback from him, although we can't understand too much. Oscar
En bra sats och borde
himself
räcka
winning a
sticka i alla
silver
fall.
medal at a World Championships in Beijing a few years back, just before Edin a year later joined the team. Lost to Olsrud in that final. I think that was about 2014 or something.
It was. That was the Olympic season. Yeah.
So he clears out the red and sits 2.
Yep.
Here's a question: wouldn't you draw around from the left side maybe?
I would, and then if
get
it-
halfway around, you
Yeah.
got better backing there.
Well, even if your second shot top 4, if he sees half of it, he's struggling to get it out, you know.
I think you're just leaving him an easier pick here from this side, the outturn side.
Yeah, you have to get a full body anyway here, for sure. He doesn't necessarily need to be shot, but I think the buddy is the most important thing here.
Ross Pedersen, first rock
Line's
here in
good.
the 4th. They're desperately looking for a couple of points.
Whoa, freeze.
Whoa. Stay close for the freeze. Yep. Line. Hard line. Whoa. Yep. Line. Line. Line.
Come right back down to that yellow one now.
Har man luft
Just a wee
lite
bit
grann,
heavy with that one. And
Ha en cent eller 2.
Okej.
Well, unless they're 100% frozen, they're usually.
Tunna, så. Ja, nollan är okej faktiskt.
Edin hits so hard.
Ja. Det är ganska tight att den blir kvar
of
faktiskt.
course they're trying to get the 4, so he's just wondering whether to...
Ja, precis.
Ja.
Fan, det är helt okej om det blir 0.
Gilla sådär bra satt. Ska inte dra allt för mycket curl för att hålla den. Ja,
I'm
den
predicting a
kommer nog
blank
curla
end
lite
right
men
here.
liksom, vi håller den på sopen. Håller med, nollan är bra.
Think he'd be able to keep his shooter and get that red one out.
Om den är bra satt så. Tar vi en fjärde.
I'm just trying to gauge what weight he's going to throw from where he's put the brush, you know. If he's throwing peel at that, then he's looking to pick it over the top.
Lucas Edin, last rock here for him in this end. Has one red shooter that he's trying to remove.
Yeah, he is trying. That's
Oh,
exactly
picked it
what he did.
cleanly.
Yep.
Yeah. So that will force Ross Pedersen to draw down to it to make his one. And what a nice shot that is, just enough to remove it and not disturb that back yellow one. And because he doesn't remove both of them, Patterson is now forced to draw down to the 4-foot.
Line's in here, tighter. Line in. Line's good. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Clean. Yep, line.
And now it's looking pretty good. So Ross Pedersen makes his shot, get to the 4-foot here in the 4th. Is forced to take one.
Nice.
It's on the scoreboard. but still has quite a job ahead of him. He's now down 3-1 after 4 ends.
5 minutes?
And Edin maintains the hammer.
5? 5?
Do you want to just start the second half 0-0 again? Sorry.
And we'll take a short break here. And we'll be back with the second half of the game.
I didn't trust that this side was a lot slower.
Fina fisken.
Passa på. Här är Vegas trögor. Ja, fan, jag gillar de gråa. Fick ju mycket skit som helst. Men de kändes nästan lite mörkare nu än där de hade på...
Ja, you're made for exercise as well.
Yeah.
First strong second half, boys.
Yeah.
Keep it going, boys.
It's good.
3-1 down routes probably a harsh reflection of the first half. Honestly.
Oh, fuck, it curled just like 2 inches at the end. I thought it was a free draw for 2. Yeah, they did die. Yeah. Cool, let's go.
Okay. Yeah. Även om ett skrällag går vidare så ska det extremt mycket till vad de
Ja.
För då, när Crosby går iväg så
Ja.
de bra lag.
Vad fan jag tror.
Either or.
So after the halftime show with the brass bands and the dancing girls, we're off again here for the second half of the game. My name is Armin Harder. I'm here with Tom Brewster. into the final of the Champéry Masters World Curling Tour event. And up until now, Edin controlling this game, has a 2-point lead and the hammer, so Drummond's got some work ahead of him.
He does. Yeah, that 2-shot lead's going to be a tough one to get back,
especially without the hammer.
That's a good guard to start with, though.
That's the second toughest shot in curling. That short guard just over the hub.
Yeah, it's tough when you've got to ice for it right as well, because it's travelling that 10-15 feet less, you know.
I can take the opportunity here to thank some people, especially our Polar HD television crew. Germans Bombarts is the director, Emils Kalnitz, the assistant director. Ivis and Oscars, our cameraman, done a great job all weekend, and we've last few years working with these guys, done really super jobs on the tour. Leslie McRae, who's our WCF projects officer, who's keeping an eye on all of us, make sure we're doing our jobs. Thanks to the WCF2 and World Curl TV for this joint effort with the World Curling Tour to produce a number of events with us again this season. It's really important we get good television coverage and get these curling stars on TV, some live streaming. So appreciate, good job to everybody out there, and thanks a lot. We get back to the game. We got a couple of good guards up now, eh?
Yeah, good setup for Greg and his team. That's a good shot.
That's okay. Like that's top 4. Corner freeze.
No going 15.
So David's sitting next to Misha Boating, who's the psychologist for British curling.
I've over the years met him a few times on the World Championships and things like that. Very interesting man.
Been around a long time.
Yeah. Originally from Moscow. He was involved in ballet, I believe.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
See lots of sports and athletics and things like that, or they have their crossovers.
He works with all the teams, but he's specifically here this week with Greg's team. So.
And now we see Ronald coming down there with a rocket, just missed the double.
So here, more ice.
Fredrik Lindberg, the Swedish coach, former teammate of Nicholas.
So Greg's asking Gregor to curl right round the whole lot and come to the back of the forefoot here.
Slowly max line. Oh, it's good. Easy. Mikey. Mikey. It's good. Yep. Hard Mike. Hard curl. Really hard curl. Right into the line. Really hard. Great shot. Good shooter. Oh boy. Shot. That's a lot slower that side.
That's a good shot.
Yeah. I'll get some rocks in play. Be interesting. All it does is take one of Verano or Eriksson to pulverize all of them.
They're good to watch when they're on form because they hit so well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
He's got one.
That's a good shot.
He does get the other one also.
And he's covered the one on the wing as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a score this end, I think.
That's the kicker, you know. They get the long double and then they roll over and end up as a guard also. It's
Still 20 for a guard. Like, yeah, so 15, 20. Half and half, I think. More than I would say, to be honest.
Things good. It's okay. This is
There's 17 events going on currently on the tour this weekend. Not only the men's and women's elites events, we got World Junior Curling Tour and the Mixed Doubles World Tour and Wheelchair World Tour. If you're interested in checking out any of those other events, there's a lot of good ones. There's Gatineau going on right now. It's got some really top teams playing in it, and also the Canadians, the top women's teams playing there. I think pretty well all of them are there. All those results are on worldcurl.com. World Tour in the meantime has over 230 events worldwide. That, I bet you Drummond would be happy to see that go.
Same spot.
Takes off his own on the corner. What's he doing here? Playing the guard.
I think he's playing the guard again, yeah.
Line's the same. Line's the same. Where are we? Okay, just keep it running. Go to goal in. Never off. Never off. Come on, boys.
Quite a long guard.
Get it over. Okay.
Just over.
That's the one that came up last time. Bästa skulle vara om man kan komma upp snabbt och få undan den här lite.
They'll make a play now. I don't think they'll look to move the guard though.
I was a little bit light on the first one there, but not that much.
Bara sätta fast den där, då får han ju frysen ganska bra, men den ska han nog göra. Jag tänkte om man vickar dit typ och sätter ner den, då kan det bli en ganska gimme. Så köpt som möjligt. Nej, tveksamt. Ja. Jag smiter igång. Håll över den så ska du nog åtminstone få ut den liksom en bit. Jag gillar fint. Jag är ju ganska aktiv och mycket is på mina 11 där, men det kommer ju köla en del. Ja.
He's coming down, hit his own onto the red.
Yep.
Gonna get a roll.
Back way.
Just gets past the guard.
It's a nice shot.
Potentially. Got a lot of curling to do to get to do this. Yeah. That's.
It looks like they're pretty well buried too with those, eh?
I mean, like
almost.
That's no good.
Well, the angle's nice for Nicholas.
Well, unless we just go the nose, line them up.
Yeah.
He pings the top one. We maybe get a free go round if he clicks it, or we get a force.
If he knows it, well, he's just going to come and lie too. If he knows this, he might just come and sit here.
Yeah, but then we got the big draw round to the back of the forefoot.
Yeah. Go for a nose.
So trying to figure out 2-3 shots ahead.
Okay. So, you good with hack?
And they've decided, Tom.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the one on the button anyway, and
two back.
Create an angle, give himself a chance, something to draw to where Ross is next. This is a tough situation, I think.
Can't afford to give up another 2 against Edin.
Well, Carl.
And he's high.
Really gotta go.
They're looking for the high side sweeper to get the curl. To be fair, that's probably...
Okay.
Edin still sitting 1.
Jag skulle nästan vilja sätta den här vicken, så den är ensam skotte. Har man en halvsten luft eller?
Ja, nästan.
Ja. Ja, sätter jag ner. Ja, för gör den då har han dubbel för ligga 2, men försöka göra den. Lite lurig på den här handen i och för sig, ska köla över det ganska liksom.
Scared of leaving the double if they knows it, so they're looking at...
Vanlig 10 där. Drar inte curl så minsta den
Shows
sidan.
you how much respect they have for each other.
Ja.
That's quite a long double.
Ja, jag har lite vinkel, träffar chapp så går den nästan ut det hållet liksom på gul.
Also has to watch the jam on the back. He's trying to over curl that and get behind the guards, or
yeah, I think so.
So he wants to come we're assuming he wants to come across the face of that red one and flop in behind the yellow guard on the left-hand side. Nicholas Edin, his first rock here in the 5th end.
Always tough to judge these for line when you're sweeping.
Look at that.
It's a good result.
Across the top. Body it up. Body it up.
Just enough roll to
chance, Ross.
negate that double.
Barrier.
It's a long double.
Solid barrier.
Lose a lot of energy coming across that. So he's going to hit the one
hear?
on the 8 foot, maybe roll behind the guard, and hope for the best. Ross Patterson, last rock here for him in the 5th.
Lines. Whoa. Whoa.
Sounds close.
Whoa. Off. 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 Close.
No.
It's a little roll, but is it enough? Don't think so.
Too much ice in.
We found it very tough to come over the stones and make those hit and rolls this weekend. With some ice, you know, it's the way you would play it, but we found here we were playing it in to out, and it was much easier to get a read and make those shots at a quieter weight.
So fairly open hit here for Edin for his 2 to take that would be a big lead. Last rock. Sweeper's backing off of this, but it's quite enough to stick around. So that, after 5 ends of play with that 2, puts Edin in a commanding 5-1 lead, and with only 3 ends left to play. That hill just got a lot steeper.
There's no room for
They had good setup, but they just didn't get that freeze when Edin went round the middle, and you've got to get on top of the stone. It just made their task a lot harder.
So throughout the game, it's been little mistakes, not big ones. I mean, they've come freeze not perfectly on, or just not touching the rock out.
You play Edin, it's these little mistakes that you lose by.
And you only need 2 or 3 of them. Like you said, he gets a lead, it's pretty hard to come back at him. Christopher Sundgren starts the 6th end. We're here at the Champéry Masters in Champéry. Same place they played the final of the World Mixed Championships almost a week ago, where Scotland defeated Canada in that final. Grant Hardy, who was on this ice last night, playing with Team Moat. Drummond, that was a great game. Those two had last night. Ross Pedersen put it on the button to defeat Mount and move them into that semi-final game.
Line's good.
And I'm here with Tom Brewster,
Line's good.
manager, ice man at the. Are you still making ice?
Curl Aberdeen, yeah.
At Curl Aberdeen.
Enough to call myself an ice maker.
Organizing president of the Aberdeen International. I'm afraid what's Aberdeen International?
Aberdeen International
Men's World Curling Tour event. And Skip of Team Brewster, making the quarterfinals this year with a new team. Again,
another new team. maybe a sign.
You've been a great development officer for Scottish curling.
Thanks.
Give credit where credit is due.
Boy, we need to give you a little bit of ice. So we're guarding the yellow.
And very successful also.
I think this is close. This is good.
You got your world medals.
Yeah.
Long time there. You were the money man on the tour.
I was. I had a good run back in the.
Where the money wasn't as great as it is now.
No, in some events. Yeah.
Line's fine.
But
Line's good.
yeah, we've done well on the tour over the years, from way back in the late 90s, I suppose.
Not that far back.
You'd be surprised. But yeah, 2000 was really my breakthrough kind of year.
I was at your World Junior title.
Now that's going back a few years.
I was there. I saw it live. That was in Perth, wasn't it?
It was in Perth, yeah. It was on home ice almost.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It was good ice too. It was Shorty Jenkins, and it was.
That's right.
Curling a lot.
I was coaching the German teams at that time.
Kind of looking for back 4.
I think Ronald threw that a little too slow.
I think from what Nicholas is saying there, I think he rolled it in a wee bit.
Even if he had rolled it, it wouldn't have had time to react. Gregor Cannon. What do you know about Gregor?
I know his mum was a very good curler.
Okay. In the family?
She skipped Scotland to 1 silver medal, I think.
Okay. Ooh. That's not going to help.
No.
Just hangs on in the back. You've got some really good teams and young teams in Scotland now with Kyle Smith and Bruce Mowat.
Yeah, Bruce has had a great start to the season too, and another new team, but they've all kind of played together at periods over our life.
I
Yep.
think the future of Scottish curling is secured for a while.
We've just opened a new National Curling Academy as well, you know, so that's only going to help these players with the coaches and all the technology that's there, and hopefully consistent and good ice for them to train on. You know, and well, we were talking about John Heron earlier, so he's the head ice maker there. Yep. So he's heading back there, hopefully to produce good ice for Tuesday morning when I'm back down the road to throw. So
practice. All right.
Yeah, we have our team practices there, and then I'll throw daily at my own club.
Right. How far is Aberdeen, Sterling?
It's about 2 hours.
Okay. So you've got a fair amount of travel time to
yeah,
go
I do have a bit of travel
team.
time, yeah. But kind of used to it now. Over the years I've been used to it, so.
Ja, den är inte jättefarlig, men den täcker den här rackaren så. Ja, känns som att ta den.
So, yeah, no reason to leave any guards out front, is there? You've got a 4-point lead.
No, and he's line 2 as well, so.
En. Yep.
Oscar's got the jetpack on too.
Yeah, I think he throws it harder than any of the four of them. To be honest with you.
Yeah, he gets that glow in his eyes when he gets to throw that.
Yeah, he loves to throw peel, eh?
You guys have been known for throwing pretty hard yourselves.
Back in the day, that was the Scottish ice.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I like the freeze, to be honest.
But you're all very accurate at doing that.
He spells everything.
Aye.
Then we hit and roll. Do you like that
It's
now?
frustrating to
do you like
give up
this
a
now?
couple of points to a Scottish
so.
team and then just be
He spells it. We get off the top.
banged out of the game.
There's a room on the out. Should be. It's an easier line call. Speed, isn't it?
What do you think of this 5-rock roll coming up?
Yeah, that's good.
Not played it all that often. I've played it a couple of slams, 2-3 slams, and it'll take a bit of getting used to. I think it's good because it gets stones in play, but
it might help Drummond now. Huh?
Well, it would definitely help Drummond. But
yeah, we can mob that foot.
Does he deserve to get another chance?
Well, yeah,
so there's different schools of thought. I'm not saying I'm against it.
You still think we make enough mistakes in the game that it doesn't warrant that? Maybe.
Well, maybe we stop the tick in the last end or something.
I'd be interested to see how the tactics develop. I really don't know either.
Felt close.
I think as well, it's good when you're playing Grand Slam events on good ice with lots of curl, but how's that going to translate into onto straighter ice conditions? And
there's a nice shot.
Yeah.
One that was needed.
Drar du bort allt så är det fine. Vad vill du säga för is?
Curious to see the tactics that will be used throughout with that rule in play. 5-rock rule obviously meaning one more guard in play that before you can play a takeout.
Vänta. Bra. Yes, up.
I'm always amazed how the sweepers can keep up to that.
I'm not sure they're doing much good if they did actually go to sweep it, so whether they need to or not. I think they're just there to catch.
I'd still be standing at the hog line.
Are you there? Yeah. Right here.
Yeah, it's just a case of get separation, I think.
Well, he's got a rock there that he might be able to
that's
utilize.
Probably now. That's a little bit more than the guard, but I think that's good for what we're needing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good one around here. If you get a mistake, you might be able to get 2 or 3.
This guy need a hair on here then, do it. Or is this still in a good path?
Needs to plant this one though.
We wondered if this was a hair slew, but I don't know. Yeah, I know. But just, yeah. We're looking for just a fraction on.
Greg Drummond fully focused on that broom.
Head high, no, we're good. Good, Aubrey.
Definitely here wide.
Line's good.
No, Pete.
Gregor. Gregor.
It's going to be good.
Line's good. Whoa, whoa. Line's good. Yep, Gregor.
Hard, guys.
Never off.
Separation.
Never off. Never off. Go, 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 go.
Come on.
Looking pretty nice.
Gotta go, 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 go.
Yeah, a couple of nice throws from Greg this end. Certainly giving them a chance.
No, that's good.
Skulle jag curla över, om man snärtar så kan jag nog ändå ligga skotte här med slagstenen. Måste han ändå slå vicka där. Ja. Yes, sätta ner den på ganska nära chappen, 3/4.
This is Nicholas's stock shot. They're 4 or 5 feet run back.
Yep.
Sätter jag chappen då blir inte slagstenen bättre och den rullar ut. Men
You heard Greg talking about separation there, and he was looking for that to be back 8, back 12 almost to.
Just that extra foot that makes that much difference. I mean, that's a wonderful draw there. You got really well in behind it, but yeah.
Nicholas looking for the
master at these.
Hårt! Hårt! Järnet!
Oh, he missed the back one. Look what he left though.
The other option is actually
Tap that yellow one back a bit, maybe.
like if he try and picks it and does that, it might force him back to the run. Okay, like this is great, but then
And it might go into.
well, it's going to be really close.
Just past it then.
I think if you get half round on the tee line, okay, like we can be in the 8 foot and still be shot.
Let's do that.
Yep.
They have to be short here because he's just going to split the rings.
Right. Ross. First rock here.
Line's okay. Like it to curl. We got no line right now. Hard for back 8. Hard Gregor. It's going. Come on.
Come on. Keep it going.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't do anything for him. It's wide open.
Råkar vicka dit så är det ju en gimme liksom. Så, då är det också en gimme. Gå på dubbeln. Även om jag jämar fast den så det här är ju ingen gimme heller att ligga kvar om den dessutom ligger kvar där.
Of course, he's worried where he's going to leave his own. Doesn't want to set up a double. There is a red counter at the back of the house.
Yeah, he's good in these situations because they always seem to really take their time and discuss all the options of where they can roll, can't roll, and what they can't do, can do.
Den som halvträff nästan får sticka så 6 är nära går ut ditåt va?
They're fast in the hack, so
Allt tjockare än det i
time
alla fall.
clockwise they're never really in trouble. But they do take their time over shots like this, and I think that's it's a good thing to learn for younger teams or for teams in general.
Absolutely.
Jag är med på den.
If he picks up the double at the back, the roll will be irrelevant, but obviously concerned if he doesn't make the double, doesn't want to leave one. And called it right away. Ooh. That's exactly what he didn't want to do. So maybe a glimmer of hope for.
That really curled when if you watch on the centre line there.
They weren't sweeping it.
I think they've given up on the double and the roll. I think they were trying to nose it.
It rolled in the perfect spot for a double here for Ross Patterson. And a great probably about the best opportunity they've had to make deuce, haven't they?
It's not quite thin, it's not.
Last rock here in the 6th, desperately looking for 2.
It's a bit less than half stone, I think.
Really gotta go. Hard, 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 hard. Really hard.
And he makes it. So score of 2. And now bring the score after 6 ends of play 5-3. And there's still a bit of a game left. Lots of experience on this Drummond team too, so don't count them out yet.
Nicholas will be looking to just score this end, and he'll be comfortable at that. I would expect to see some ticks maybe being played.
And here we see it after 6 ends of play, 5-3 for Nicholas Edin here at the Champéry Masters World Curling Tour. Winner of this game gets 14,000 Swiss francs. The loser will have to be happy with 9,000. And next year we're going to up this event another 5,000 with 50,000 total prize money.
Line's good. Okay. Line's perfect.
Pay some flights and some hotels.
Yep, curl now. Curl. Go, 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 go. Good call. Good, Mike. Nice. You are. Watch that one.
Jag tror jag gillar rundningen. Okej. Lilla nickticken.
Unfortunately, it's only one team that profits from that. 24 others kind of don't.
Donate to them.
Huh?
They donate to them.
They help donate to that. So that's the nature of our game at the moment, but we are working on that, and it's getting incrementally better. World Curling Federation just picked up a major sponsor for about 10-12 million for 4 years. Hopefully that's a trend that will continue or just get started. So they bring more money into the sport and professionalize the players. A lot of sacrifices players make, and coaches and families, and
it's just all happening a wee bit too slowly.
For you.
For me. You need to pick the pace up a wee bit.
Yeah, well, just so you get a couple more years in anyways. Yeah. Well, your time isn't finished yet. You're still a youngster. And looking at your team this weekend, 5-0 record after the round robin, and I thought you had a really solid performance. Your team looks really good.
Yeah, we're pretty happy, and if we keep progressing each event the way we have been progressing all season, you know, it'll be good things towards the end of the season. And the national championships is a big goal of ours, and you know, that's what a big driver for me. And you know, and this is all a stepping stone to get there, especially with a new team, you know. So.
And you've got 2 really young guys, so you get 2 veterans, 2 young guys. I enjoyed watching the way, listening to the way Scott Andrews was interacting with your young guys.
Yeah, and of course Scott's had taken on a new role. You know, he was always the youngster in the team, and you know, but now he's the voice of experience down in the team, and I think he's thrived in that role. Yeah, you know.
Halfway, Max.
I kind of see a new bounce about his.
Yeah, there's a lot of line, but we just got to get it in the spot.
Play and he's played. He's not only that, he's actually played really well this season.
I noticed the tactical exchanges here a lot.
Yeah, he's always been quite vocal with that, and I think generally when he had something to say in the past, you know, and even noticing with David's team, when he had something to say, he would come up and say something. It was generally, he was pretty close and spot on, you know. So it's good for me just to have that experienced head and voice, and somebody that I trust to bounce ideas around.
So a bit of a break there for Drummond.
Always the problem with the ticks. You're always flirting with danger at times when you're playing the.
That's why we had this conversation in the semi-final. I believe that your initial guard should be closer to the house, so that if you're playing against a team that's got good ticks, because those guards are generally to the side and closer, then your next guards are a little higher, and those.
Well, you have to.
Those jams are.
In an ideal world, you're playing 2 guards, so you need as much separation on the guards as possible. So you're either playing that sort of 3 zone or the 1 zone with your guard. If you end up in a 2, it's very difficult to play 2 guards.
Of course, the 5 rock rule next year may change a lot of that.
Yeah,
it will be interesting to see that development.
Yeah, what we're looking for.
You might see a lot of ticks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll go to the 6 rock rule. Eventually, we'll have no peeling.
Or like the mixed doubles. Can't take anything out of play.
You played mixed doubles with your wife this year, I believe.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was interesting. No, it was good. I enjoyed it.
You're still married,
I think
obviously.
she enjoyed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still married,
Yeah. Second day. Well, the first day didn't quite go to plan. We didn't win our 2 games.
There's thousands of people listening in here.
We didn't win our first 2 games, and but we won our next 3, and we were in a tie break. Unfortunately, we lost the tie break for the quarters, but we did well. But she did say to me on the second day before our 3rd game, she says, "So you're going to be nice to me today." So.
Well,
there's a
different for you, huh?
Yeah,
you have to control yourself.
I played a bit of mixed curling over the years as well.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a bit of a change for you, Tom.
I had to sweep.
Have to control. Oh, that too. Yeah. That must have been a funny picture. So Greg Drummond working with that. Trying to work with that rock that's sitting just back of the 4-foot, trying to protect that. Maybe get that center guard into play in order to try and get another rock in there.
Hard curl for line. Hard curl. Good sweep. Nice.
It's always a tough one to guard against, and even to know what to do. You know, if you're in Nicholas's situation here, you probably see a wee bit of it, and you know you can get to it, but you know, just peeling the guards the shot. So.
Yeah, the guards, the danger, obviously. Yeah.
håll i.
So just looking to guard it again.
Early for that line's good.
5-3 for Edin.
Still okay.
Edin has the hammer.
We're good.
Hard line.
Well, pretty well steal
Hard line
one.
now.
Steal one would be the
Oh, you gotta go. It's gotta go.
thing here to do for Drummond. Trying to force an extra end.
Okay.
Den som innan den är lite lättare. Två bra sving där. Försöka rycka ut en bit så har han bara fridragningen.
We did see a steal of 3 last night. Marburg's against Pfister in the 8th end. But Pfister controlled that game throughout the entire.
Gone by then, did he?
Yeah, controlled that game all the way until the last end, and then 2-3 really bad mistakes, and all of a sudden there's a steal of 3. Yeah. So it can go very quickly, but somehow don't expect Edins to make those mistakes.
Some ways on.
Yes. Bara sarg. Niklös. Hacksarg.
Rent, ligger bra.
Yep.
No, it's curling now.
Just gets past. Is he over curling?
Yeah, he doesn't want to nose it, does he? He's
guard up and backing.
Bra sats men inte utåt.
Yeah, and this side. Yeah, I mean, like, if it comes down, it's okay. But yeah, side of the button gets shot.
See.
What was that here?
So here, more ice and
Possibility
last.
to maybe steal one.
yeah, if they can bite the button, sit in front of the tee.
Ross Patterson, last drop for him here in this 7th end.
Whoa, then, whoa, whoa. Whoa. No, we got no line yet. It's Mike, still Mike. Still Mike, line's good.
It's starting to come down now.
Come on.
It's looking pretty good, actually. And he's got shot. With it curl out the other side.
Lite bättre sättning liksom, men
Ha halva.
ligger vi kvar så ligger vi kvar, men samma.
We've seen a similar shot earlier where Edin just picked it cleanly. This has even more separation than that did.
I think he's
Exakt.
I think he's playing the same way he played with his first year.
Tror du 60
Just
går
looking
clean
to
eller
push it
behöver
over the
tunnare?
face and try and score 2.
Now that would be game over for sure. I think.
Ja.
Förra var vi ganska precis sarg.
Ja.
12 blankade Oskar. Vilket spela samma med lite mer distinkt sättning. Han var ganska parallell.
So this
Borde vi hålla.
last rock here for Edin. If he makes this 2, he will pretty well put the game away.
He missed one like this in the first game. Just very similar shot. Yeah.
They held on to it.
Good shot.
Okej, så.
He only gets the 1.
Bra försök.
With that 1 point, that'll give him 6 to 3.
Det lösare från skjut också så det blir
And
lite av allt.
means
Ja, bra så.
Drummond needs to make 3 to tie the game and force the extra end. We're here at the Champéry Masters. We're curling tour. Champéry, Switzerland, up in the French part of Switzerland, near Lake Geneva. French-speaking part. We're in the Palladium here. This venue has hosted a number of big curling events, not just the World Curling Tour, but also World Mixed Championships last week and a couple of European Championships in the past few years. And we're off in here with the start of the first rock in the 8th end. Throw through from Lundgren.
Yeah, Leeds love this 3 up in the last end situation.
No pressure on me. I just have to throw through, not fall down. You don't get any points for that shot.
No. I don't think he'll be worried.
Well, could be a nice payday for Team Edin here if they can bring this home. 3-point lead. And again, Lundgren being asked to throw that through. Edin not going to give Drummond any kind of rocks that he may utilize. Michael Goodfellow. Looks like he might have had something underneath it. Tried shaking it off.
That's got a lot of curling to do.
We're good.
There's a lot
Looks
of curling.
like he did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Just let it.
Surprise if we're not.
Looks like you might get it level.
Yeah, I think we can get level.
That's pretty good.
Stay close though. Nice
Nicholas
control.
is just
Yep.
just looking for single peels now anyway. So I'll be surprised if he takes this on.
Rasmus Ronald. I have seen Rasmus in the past miss the one or the other of these, so he tends to throw them really hard. It just takes a little twitch with that kind of speed.
Yeah, sometimes he just gives him a wee bit too much air.
But no mistaking with that one. Gregor Cannon.
No, we're good.
No, I think for Drummond, this is under these with this new team,
okay,
this
still tight.
formation. This is their first final, I believe.
Yeah.
So they got to be pleased with their performance this week for sure.
Yeah, they've had a good start to the season as well. They didn't start too well in the first couple of events, but then they found some form, and as I said earlier, they're all getting used to their positions a little bit. You know, it's quite new to them. So.
Well, no mistaking this time, Rona. He gets the job done. Quickly also mention, not to 3 or 4 weeks, the European Championships taking place in St. Gallen, Switzerland. That'll be a nice event, and St. Gallen's a pretty little town, city, so good place to visit. You've had your European Masters in St. Gallen a number of times, so that's always been great.
Lovely facility there, it's really nice. I'm sure that'll be a great week. and of course has a wee bit more meaning to it with the Olympics this season as well, and some teams still looking to confirm their qualification.
Yeah,
you know?
and the warm-up for many of the Olympic teams.
Looking for T-line. Option but to go down.
The Swiss representatives, Peter de Cruz and Silvana Tiransoni. They'll be playing there for the Swiss, so that should draw some attention.
Peter's been doing well the last few years as well. They keep progressing and improving every season. You watch them play, and they're getting that bit more experience internationally and at Grand Slam events. Certainly turning into a good team.
And they're still in their 20s, so they've got some good years ahead of them. Huh?
Just young pups.
You're just out of your 20s, right?
Yeah, wrong side of 20.
Yeah. Frederick Lindberg on the right, and David Murdoch on the left. David this year in a new position. Quite a big change from being an active player to going to coaching right away. It's have to probably an adjustment there, I would think.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
Different mentality, yeah.
Yeah, but he's always been a good thinker of the game, and he brings a lot to the his position and what he does.
There's no doubt about that. He'll definitely be an asset.
And he's working with all the teams in effect. So no, we've certainly enjoyed working with him. We train with him on a Tuesday. He does part of our team session, not all of it, but part of it. And
so here's somebody
we
who's
do
been
a lot of
competitor for many years, and now you're working together with them. That's
yeah. Well, we've played together. I mean, we started out together, and it's almost come full circle. And but
Carl.
Yeah.
For him, of course, the dynamic as a coach instead of being a player would be quite a difference. Looking from the totally different perspective.
But he also knows as a player what's going through what's going through my mind in certain positions, or and it's great. It stops me always voicing what I need to say to the team. Sometimes it's good to hear it coming from somebody else or somebody to back you up.
From doing that.
So,
how many skips have to coach their own teams? It's not always easy to play that role.
All the best teams coach themselves, if you know what I mean by individually.
Well, we're down to the last two rocks for Drummond, and all three of them have to be in the house, and there's going to have to be a complete miss from Edin now to give Drummond any chance.
Yeah, both teams have played a perfect end so far.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't do Drummond any
No, it
good.
doesn't work like that. No.
So, great course to make a deuce here. Unfortunately, that's one too little. So, barring a complete failure here or something worse by Edin, this should be the game shot, and well deserved. Edin team solid throughout. One stumble early on in the competition against Tom Brewster, but hasn't looked back since. Just needs a hit, doesn't even need to stay.
Just keeping it clean the whole way.
That's it. That's the game. And Nicholas Edin maintains his title here at Champéry, winning it last year. Wins it again this year. Gets to collect that 14,000 Swiss franc check before heading off to Canada for next week. Great showing by Team Drummond. I think they did a really good to go as far as they did.
They've done really good to get this far. And, Nicholas just showing his quality today. I think Ross had a couple of chances early on, but he just, you know, Nicholas just kept putting him under pressure.
Small mistakes, but they're enough to cost them.
Yeah.
So there we see the champions. Tom, congratulations to you. Good performance this week too, and your team. Well done, and thanks for joining me.
No problem.
All that great insight in the during the final here. Always happy to have you in the booth whenever you get a chance. I'm sure you don't want to sit here most of the time, but
I'd rather be playing. But it's warmer sitting in here than it is sitting out there watching. So
we're really happy
enjoy being in here.
Happy to have you, and we'll see you somewhere shortly on the next event. And there we see the president, Jacques Doucet, going to present the trophy. Once they move the table out of the way. And there we see the Luc Fillet, the mayor of the city of Champéry, and a big supporter of curling.
Thank you. Wanna be here?
Yeah.
And all smiles there. And with that, that concludes our coverage for this weekend's World Curling Tour Champéry Masters. I'd like to thank everybody that was involved and hope everybody enjoyed it. Until next time, World Curling Tour and World Curling TV. Thank you very much to the World Curling Federation for their support in this. Tom, wish you a good trip home.
Thank you.
Nice grabbar.
Goodbye everybody.
Någon låda där. Last one broke. Nice.